In 1989, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and Kim Basinger created an amazing movie that started one heck of a legend that continues to today. Batman, of course. What makes this particular Batman so relevant? Why am I talking about it today? Well, I guess we could say Batman Day has brought out some very interesting information, and I want to discuss it with you. But before I do that, please click the like button and the subscribe button so I can improve the content of this channel. Thank you. So today, while I was going through the internet, a whole mess of Batman information just poured onto my phone for the most part. And I have to say a lot of it's very good, and at the same time, some of it's a little interesting. But so it turns out that DC Comics has decided to make the 1989 Batman canon when it comes to comic books. Back in the 1980s, or rather 1989, they came out with the movie, and the fans just absolutely loved it. I happen to be one of them. To this day, it's still my favorite Batman out of all of them. In fact, the things that I found out about the movie over the years is that, along with how much it made at the theater worldwide, along with the music that came out from Prince, and all the VHS cassettes, probably some Betamax as well, Laserdisc, again CDs, the movie took in over $450 million. Now that's a lot of money for the 80s, even the beginning of the 90s. That's still a lot of money. And Warner Brothers decided that they were going to make more Batman, which in 1992 they came out with Batman Returns. Along that same year, because of the success of Batman and Batman Returns, they had Batman the Animated Series with Kevin Conroy. Now again, to me, that's just awesome stuff right there. Kevin Conroy is the animated version of Batman. He's been it, voice acting it forever. In fact, Six Flags, they have a ride over there about the Justice League and saving Metropolis from the Joker and Lex Luthor. And it's a fun ride. And Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman in that ride as well. He's done Batman Returns, Batman Beyond, Mask of the Phantasm, of course, which was first Kevin Conroy's feature film regarding the animated character. And all of this, I have to say, is because of the success of the Batman from 1989. If you look at the opening of the animated series, you see that long, beautiful Batmobile that is pretty much the same design and shape of Michael Keaton's Batmobile. The music is great. The storylines are just amazing. All this because of the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton. So the fans started to crave more of it, especially after Keaton decided not to go on to do any more Batman, especially with Tim Burton out of the picture. They both saw what Warner Brothers was planning to do. They were pretty much starting to turn the thing into a kid franchise. Marketing toys, it wasn't as good as the first two were. In fact, even with Val Kilmer on board, Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Chris O'Donnell, it was good, but you knew you were in trouble when at the end of that movie, Chris O'Donnell is on top, is just standing on this metal structure that's supposed to be the Riddler's hideout, and he bangs on it and yells, "Holy rusted metal, Batman." Right there. That was the key sign that you knew from this point on this franchise was in trouble. And then, of course, you know what came next. Batman and Robin. what a nightmare film that is. In fact, I tried watching that a couple of days ago because I've got the Blu-ray collection, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was just too silly. But now, DC Comics has decided to revisit the Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, and make it canon in the universe that they have created. If I'm understanding all of this correctly, DC Comics has decided to not only revisit the old comic book that they put out, Batman '89, but they've also decided to add it to their universe, and they're going to call it One Short Comics, and it'll be part of the Dark Crisis universe. And I believe the first book is The Big Bang 1, Batman '89. And it's going to be they say it's going to be a crossover event. I'm not exactly sure what all that means, but they promise that they will stay true to the Tim Burton character, the Tim Burton Batman. And they say they have a lot of adventures for Batman to go to, as well as some new ideas. While I'm excited about it, I get a little scared when they're talking about new ideas. When you consider that just a couple of weeks ago, actually maybe about 2 months ago, they announced that Batman in some new comics coming out of DC Comics was going to be bi. Now, I discussed this in a previous video, and I think I did about 3 weeks ago, and it's something that's very much concerning. But with the issues that are going on over at Warner Brothers and how they're shaking up things at DC Comics, they've promised that they are going back to the old universe of Batman and how they're going to try and keep that universe canon. And I have a couple of questions about that, because Batman's number one enemy throughout the years has always been the Joker. But in 1989, Batman killed him. Batman killed the Joker while he was trying to escape on a helicopter from the church. So, after that movie happened and the Joker died, a lot of people, and I remember this because there was speculation all over the place about, was that really the Joker that died? There wasn't enough blood on the ground after that big fall from that church. Could it have been a robot? Maybe. Maybe there could have been a robot. Not sure. But it does pose some interesting questions about how would they pursue a Joker character if they did decide to do that. I mean, after all, Penguin's dead too. So, again, just a lot of interesting things to talk about here when it comes to the DC Universe and the new Batman, or rather the Batman '89 comics. But for me, this is an incredible, exciting thing, because Batman '89 was, as far as I'm concerned, the beginning of a true Batman character. I mean, back in the 30s, we had Detective Comics, where Batman originated. Then there was a television show, I believe, that came out in like around 1939, 1940. And then we had the all-time favorite, Batman with Adam West. Now, the car from Adam West was amazing. Batman was amazing. But it was just too comical for me. Keaton brought out a Batman that no one had ever seen before, and we all craved it. In fact, we craved it so much, it continues on to this day. So, I'm curious to know what all of you think about this, about Batman being put into canon on the DC Comics, and which Batman do you like? Michael Keaton Batman? Val Kilmer? I know none of you like George Clooney. Christian Bale, or even Ben Affleck. I'm really curious. So, I hope you will comment below, because I really want to hear your opinions on this. Batman to me has been very special. Very, very special. So, I hope all of you have enjoyed this. Oh, one last piece of information about Batman, and this is just a personal thing that I noticed over, again, back to 1989. Jack Nicholson. Again, great Joker. Great. He died at the end of the 1989 Batman. Now fast forward to The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger plays the Joker. The Joker lives at the end of that movie, and a couple of months later, Heath Ledger dies. Is that just weird or what? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as I asked before, if you could comment below, like the video, and please subscribe, and I promise I'll bring more content to you. I'm W.F.S, your doctor. Enjoy, and I hope you have a good day.